Am I the asshole for giving my son's dog to his ex-wife? To begin with, I love my son with all my heart. But he blew up his marriage by cheating and has moved back home. I 55 have 3 children. My oldest is my daughter 30, then my twins 25 megafarads. My oldest just got married to a wonderful man. My younger daughter is going to grad school overseas, and that leaves my son. Let's call him Carlos. He has always been a handful. He got married when he was 20. His ex-wife had a 3-year-old daughter whom I love, and no matter what, I am her grandmother. They had a child together, my other grandchild. He is 2. COVID caused a lot of stress in his life, and he works in a fly-in fly-out camp job. He is gone for 2 weeks at a time. Then home for 2 weeks. He makes very good money and enjoys spending it. Maybe a little bit too much. Carlos cheated on his wife with a coworker. I am not judging him. I am not perfect. But he chose to leave his wife and children. And move back home. It doesn't really make sense for him to rent an apartment or something for the 12 days a month he is home. So I allowed it. But he decided to be an ass, in my opinion, and bring his dog with him. My grandbabies love this dog. But he is trying to punish his ex for telling him to leave. It is a beautiful border collie, and it is the perfect dog for their home. Huge yard. Lots of walking trails nearby. Even an off-leash park only a 10-minute drive away. I live in an apartment downtown. I am allowed a dog, but if I were to have one, it would be something sedate and non-shedding like a Maltese. I swear I tried watching this dog. But my son is irresponsible. He doesn't walk him much. He doesn't brush the dog. He is just holding on to the dog to lever his way into his ex's life. The last straw was this last time off work. He was away for 2 weeks. Andy then came home for 1 day before flying off to the United States for a vacation with his new girlfriend. So I called my Dill, checked that she wanted the pup back. She almost cried with joy, packed up everything that belonged to the dog and took him over there. My grandchildren were ecstatic. My son just came home for 3 days before he has to leave for work and asked where his dog is. I told him the truth. He is calling me an asshole for giving away his pet. Also because I said that if he tried to go get the dog and bring it back, he was not welcome in my home. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole in my opinion. He's only thinking of himself. Not you, not the dog, and not his kids. Also, calling you an asshole? You're nice to let him back into your home at all after that. I'm not generally supportive of unilaterally giving away someone's pet, but I think it was entirely justified in this case. He brought it into your home without asking you, and he's literally never home to take care of it. He was intentionally making you, the dog, and his own children upset, just to get back at his wife for not putting up with his cheating. Good job, Grandma. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your son is honestly, it does make sense for him to pay rent for a few days per month. Consequences for his horrible behavior are not a terrible thing. Not the asshole. It wasn't his pet, he was never there, and didn't care for the dog. It was a means of punishment for his ex. You did the right thing by the ex and the dog. Am I the asshole for denying my mom access to her grandson because she refuses to help me? My husband and I, 32 female, are first-time parents to an 8-month-old son, Jack. I've struggled since he was born. I had a difficult pregnancy. My son had colic, and my maternity leave was short. I was diagnosed with PPD and am getting treatment. My husband and I both have demanding jobs. I'd love to quit, but we can't afford it right now. I don't have many friends in the state where we live, and I'm lonely. My mill is in poor health, and my husband is gone 2x per week helping her. I haven't had a day or evening off since Jack was born. Plus, our home was flooded by a broken pipe 5 months ago. Handling the cleanup has been a nightmare. My mom, 67 female, lives 1 hour away and has never once offered to help with anything. We've always had a pretty good relationship. She was a stay-at-home mom and was very loving and devoted to my brother, sister, and me. She's an empty nester and spends her days doing yoga and seeing friends. My mom won't see the baby if it's very low effort. I asked her a few times if she could babysit or run an errand, but she always says no. Once I called her at the height of my PPD sobbing, saying I was scared to be alone and could she come over. But she had brunch plans. I stopped asking for anything until today. My best friend of 25+ years is getting married next weekend in State B, which is 2 hours away by plane. I'm the maid of honor and my husband is officiating. Children are not invited because the venue is unsafe. About 7 months ago we started looking for someone to watch Jack. We called everyone we could think of. After a month of searching, we finally found a babysitter in State B through a friend of a friend. Well, the babysitter called on Friday and cancelled. I've spent the past 3 days calling childcare agencies with zero luck. I finally explained my desperation to my mom and asked if she could watch Jack for 24 hours. Or I offered to fly my mom to State B with us, get her a hotel room, and she'd then only need to watch him for 5 hours. I was in tears begging her, but my mom said no. She has a yoga class she doesn't want to cancel. It was the straw that broke the camel's back after months of no empathy as I flounder with PPD. I told my mom that since she is never willing to help ever, I will be cutting off all contact and she won't get to see her grandson. I know my mom is under no obligation to help us, but then she should not expect to see my son. Am I the asshole for denying my mom a relationship with her grandson because she never offers to help? Not the asshole. It's one thing to refuse to babysit or run an errand or whatever. But when your child, and the fact you're an adult doesn't matter, calls you crying saying they are terrified of being alone and are clearly in distress. And you choose brunch? No. Just no. I would have cut my parent off for that right there. Not the asshole. Sue. Not the asshole. I get that she's done with babies, but to have you calling while in severe mental distress and her response is, "Sorry, I've got a brunch date," is beyond heartless. Honestly, if she's not willing to put in any work with the grandkid, she doesn't get to reap any of the rewards. Is there no way for your siblings to help with the kid? Maybe offer them the same deal? Am I the asshole for the way I reacted to my parents' open relationship and no longer paying rent? I, 18 male, live with my parents. I've been paying rent since I was 16 since my parents would be financially fucked if I wasn't helping out. A few my parents told me they are seeing someone and that their relationship is open. I didn't give a shit since it wasn't affecting me until this guy they're seeing started staying nights. He treat this place like it's his, tries to tell me what to do and eats all my food. I tried talking to my parents about it but they just said it's their house so they can have who they want here. I really tried to put up with it until this guy tried to discipline my dog. I flipped my shit. It was most certainly not the way you discipline a dog and I am already sick of his shit. I yelled the house down, calling him all sorts, like, dumb C&T piece of shit freeloader, and some more vile shit that's probably way too fucked up to say here. My parents rushed to see what's going on and tell me off, but instead I told them off calling them terrible parents, that they can shove their house up their ass and that I'm not going to pay rent to live in a house I have no say in. That, dumb C&T can cover my rent. I've since been staying with my boyfriend. My parents recently texted me asking for my rent. I told them to fuck off and reminded them of what I said. I feel like I am not wrong to not pay rent anymore but I went so overboard with my words. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. They turned you into a paying tenant at 16 and I'm glad you're out. Do you have your dog with you? That would have been the final straw for me as well. Not the asshole. They can't expect you to pay rent if you are no longer living with them. In some ways this may be the best thing that ever happened to you. It sounds like they haven't been the best parents and have been milking you financially for housing expenses and food. Better to be on your own and only responsible for supporting yourself. Am I the asshole for instituting a strict no plants or animals inside the house policy? My children really wanted pets and so did my partner. They got a mixed breed puppy from the pound and 2 kittens. As these animals grew, none of the humans in my house did anything to care for them besides play with them and cuddle. I got up at 5:30 a.m. to walk the dog before work. I cleaned the kitty litter boxes out. I took them to the vet. I had to buy and serve all their food and cleaned up their eating areas afterward. People would just forget, otherwise. Naturally, I also had to clean up after them when I'd arrive home and inevitably no one had bothered and there were messes all over the floor. If I made my partner or kids do it, they'd half-ass it to the point where they may as well have not bothered. Same way with plants. Partner wanted houseplants and to start indoor vegetable garden. Had fun with it first week, then totally ignored. Dead leaves, spilt soil, bugs, etc. now proliferate in the garden area. If I don't water and groom the plants it doesn't get done. I am busy and these are not my chosen hobbies. I like animals well enough, but they're a lot of work and when they aren't attended to, destroy the house. I grew up with a family that hoarded pets and our house was always nasty and smelly and embarrassing. I swore when I had my own place it would be different. The cats pee, spray everywhere if I can't get to the litter box in time, and the dog chews up stuff and leaves big messes on the floor if I don't walk it. I'm the only one who'll walk him when it gets cold. We have a fenced-in backyard. I bought a doghouse and announced he'll live outside from now on, till they can prove they can take care of him better. Same with the cats. They're now outdoor kitties, till my humans can show me they're ready for indoor ones. Of course, if the weather is extreme I'll let them in. Plants are all going out. I'm done. Am I the asshole? New remarks. Hi. I've read all the responses and am now going to stop with comments back b. See, I get the overall consensus. I'm going to copy, paste here what I put in another comment. I have no idea how to rehome these adult pets beside Facebook or Craigslist, and you don't know really who's going to take them. You don't know anything about the people showing up. They could be going from a bad situation here to even worse. Rehoming adult pets is not as easy as everyone is making it out to be. I don't have abundant resources of time or energy to address this. It's causing problems, and this is the best solution I can come up with, for now, to calm everybody down. I've tried for over a year to do the best I possibly could for these pets, but I just can't anymore. I don't know how to force other people to do the right thing and be more responsible. Pets aren't just for snuggles and cuddles, they require a lot more attention and devotion. And yes, I have tried punishing my children and withholding privileges for lack of care. I told my partner they weren't ready for pets. He brought them home anyway. If finding other homes for them is the best long-term solution, then I'll look into that, but I'm not taking them any place they can be put down, and I don't want them walking away with just whoever. I have a nice, landscaped backyard with a big, covered deck and patio where he'll have a dog bed in addition to the doghouse I bought, and the cats will have little cat cozies, too. It's not like I'm tossing them into the jungle. We live in a temperate climate, and of course I'll bring them inside when the weather's in climate. Where I live, which is in a countrified area where most people have a great deal of lot acreage and live down private dirt roads, it is not unusual at all to keep outdoor pets. Many people love and care for their pets, but it is very common for them to not have animals in the house. I didn't want it to be like that, but I don't know what else to do. My pets, including the cats, have been indoor, outdoor all their lives. The cats were not exclusively raised indoors. Now those are my excuses, and I won't give any more. I completely understand that many people feel like animals should never live outside. I am listening to everyone here who is saying just give them away. Giving them away is better, and even to people saying return them to animal control, the pound, where there's a possibility if they aren't adopted they will be euthanized. Even though I do not see it like this. That's definitely the majority opinion here. So, I appreciate all these responses and will give more thought to this. But that's all I have to say for now, and honestly I have gotten some very horrible inbox messages calling me all kinds of names as well as suicide warning, so I'm sorry. I have to bow out. I am thankful to those who offered supportive encouragement and alternative ideas, and to those who didn't, well, I put this on the internet and no one forced me to, so that's on me. Not the asshole for being frustrated or implementing a no pets or plants rule. You are the asshole for putting the animals outside, though. They're likely to just be even more neglected than they are now. Outdoor cats are a public nuisance. Take them to a shelter or rescue or find them new homes. You are the asshole. You are punishing the dog for your partner's laziness. Don't do that. You are the asshole for punishing the animals for the humans' actions. Find them new homes. Wow.